And this tall drink of water over here is Tony Chopper, of course, who is one half of the dynamic duo, I should say, with him and Sanji, of course, Mr. Prince really coming through for the Straw Hats here in the last couple of chapters.
One Piece, Chapter 175, Release!
Things are heating up and I just love it. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the excellent and action-packed tale of One Piece. Our last chapter saw us, of course, with, seeing Sanji, referring to himself as Mr. Prince, being able to get the bridge collapsed. I had originally thought that it was just because of the water flooding into that room, and of course the Rain Dinners Casino being in the middle of that lake, that was actually starting to lower because the water flooding in, and that crumbled the bridge. But now after reading this chapter, I believe that it was Sanji who actually took out the bridge. But we know that at the end of the chapter, Sanji had kind of pulled a little okey-doke, a ruse, and lured Miss All Sunday and Crocodile out, and of course any Baroque works, agents, whatever, so he could get in. And then at the end of the chapter, he of course was sitting there kind of in disguise with some glasses on, kind of like the Clark Kent, turning into Superman sort of deal. And of course, had found Vivi had found him, or he had found Vivi, and then he's like, "Hey, let's go, princess." So that's how the chapter ended. That's where this one picks up, and she's like, "What? But I thought you got shot." And that was also a little mistake that I made in the chapter before. When he was talking on the snail phone or whatever, it sounded as if somebody had grabbed him or was captured him or whatever the case may be. And what had actually happened, and we see at the beginning of this one, is that one of the guys that he had already beaten up, he got him to go and kind of act like, "Hey, yeah, we captured him. We're at the front of the casino." And that's what actually lured Croc and Miss All Sunday out. So a little bit of an error on my part over there, but hey, it happens. I do read these and then I record them, so it, as most of you know, so it is just kind of a first impressions. And sometimes you go and you make a mistake. I mean, it just happens, or you don't, particularly see something or how something plays out until the next chapter. So in this time, that was the case. So we wind up going and seeing through like a little bit of a flashback what actually happened. Sanji, of course, did grab somebody and, took care, had him act and kind of play it out to lure them out. And then the guy's like, "Oh, great, can I leave?" And Sanji's like, "Nope." And he nails him, knocks him out. So then what he winds up doing is he knows that they're going to come out, and he's going to go and try to sneak in. So he goes and gets Chopper to go and turn into, his kind of human form or whatever, and put sort of like a cloak robe type deal on, over him. And then to go over by where the commotion is, where the millions Baroque agents are that they, beat up and knocked most of unconscious. So Chopper goes over there, and it's cool because this is Chopper's first moment of really doing something for the group. He's like, "Oh man, this is great. I get to do something. I get to contribute." So he goes and somebody's just like, "Oh, hey, who are you?" And he's like, "Mr. Prince." Boom! And he jacks him up, So now we see how this whole thing transpired. And then of course Croc and old Crocky and Miss All Sunday come out, and he goes and kind of walks off and starts running away to go and lure them out, as a diversion. So in Croc, of course, with him, it's a matter of, "Hey, listen, you fooled me now twice." You know what I mean? With the whole Sanji thing, because that's what he thinks he's chasing after, because of course he, deceived him on Little Island, and now of course with this nonsense, he's just kind of making a fool of him, and it's a respect thing for Crocodile. You don't make a fool of him. So, the Shichibukai. But so he goes and he goes after what we know now is Chopper, and Chopper's running like hell and everything. And then it's cool because Chopper goes, when he gets far enough out ahead, he goes and just shrinks back down to his small size, so he's just kind of walking real short. And then, of course, Crocodile's looking for somebody, it's this regular man size, and he's like, "What the hell? Where'd he go?" And you just see Chopper, like, walk right by him. He's like, "I'll find you, and I'll kill you," And he's all pissed off. It's just great to see this little bastard get so angry. Because, like I said, I don't really care for him. So he's definitely a good bad guy because you don't like him. At least I don't. So we go back inside the casino, and of course Vivi is telling Sanji, "Hey, listen, we got to hurry. We got to get to him." And Sanji's going, "How are they? Is everybody okay?" And she's going, "Yeah, but they won't be for long. This and that." So they're going to go into the room. We go and see back in that room with the cage and everything, we see Nami starts trying to get the Gator's attention, And it's funny because Usopp and Luffy are still fighting about Luffy's still like, "Oh, those are those..." He thinks they're bananas with gators growing out of them. And Usopp, who can also be dim-witted at times, is trying to explain to Luffy, "No, you don't understand, dude. they're gators that look like bananas. It's just like if somebody does like a monkey dance, it doesn't mean that they're a monkey. They're just doing a just trying to explain it. And Luffy's like, whatever. Bananas and gators, they're both edible. I don't care. So, and then we get and of course Nami is trying to lure the gators over and piss them off so they'll come and chomp and break the cage. She does get one of them to come over and nail the cage, and it moves, it rattles them around, but it doesn't break. And they're like, what the hell is this thing made of? So Smoker is sitting over there just cross-legged with his arms crossed in the corner, you know, just like chilling with his cigars hanging out of his mouth. And they're like, how the hell can you be so calm? And he's like, yeah, you know, what do you know about Crocodile's plan? What's going on or whatever? And they're like, what? You know, because he's been chasing them for, you know, whatever, 70 chapters now. And he's like, because that woman that was with them, you know, she has a bounty on her head. We've been chasing her. The world government's been after her for the last 20 years. She's got a 70 million berry bounty on her head. And then somebody says, oh, the same as Croc. And I thought Croc's was like 81 million, but whatever. A ton of money when you get up into that point for their bounties. And obviously in this world, the higher the bounty, the more, you know, the more badass the criminal is, right? So we find out that, you know, that basically once those two teamed up, you know, pretty much the shit's hitting the fan, and this isn't just about this country anymore. The whole world could be in danger, he says, and you know, they're like, what, the whole world? So we don't really know what's going on yet with that, but it was kind of cool, and I thought it was of an interest and an interesting point to hear Smoker talk about that. So then we wind up going and we get, you know, Sanji goes and he comes into the room and kind of drops down, you know, from the stairwell that's kind of been bitten and eaten by one of the Bananagators, and he comes down and just, you know, whoosh, just jacks one of them up with his leg. I'm on camera here. I can't go and throw a kick up anyway. Plus, I might get a hernia or break a hip or something. If I tried to, but you get the idea. So he comes out and he kicks one of the gators right in the face, and they're like, Sanji, you know, dude, you gotta hurry, you know. And then he's just like, Nami, do you love me now? And she's like, yes, whatever, I love you, you know. So he's just like, yeah, come all at me at once, and he's talking shit to the gators. And it's kind of cool because we go and we see Smoker go and contribute now to the group, and I think this is the part where Smoker is going to temporarily anyway maybe form an alliance with the Straw Hats, kind of like, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know, so basically, you know, he realizes that in fact they are trying to help the princess, they are trying to help this country, and they may have the same goals now in taking down Croc and this despicable plan that he has, right? And Miss All Sunday and whatever her tie-in deal is into this, her tie-in. So Smoker goes and he says, yeah, it's the third one from the left, or the third one that came at you that emerged, you know. And they're like, what? And Luffy's like, or Luffy goes, what? And he's just like, yeah, those things attached to your head, they're ears. Do you know how to use them? He's like, that's the one that swallowed the key. So obviously Smoker's got a keen sense of hearing and could just tell by the way this one was growling, because he said, didn't you hear it when it growled? He could tell that this one was the one that swallowed the key. So we go in and we presume that something good's going to happen with that, but we go and we kind of cut back to Crocodile and Miss All Sunday. They now have figured out what's going on. They figured out that that there was a ruse, obviously, you know, and that they've, you know, been made fools of and lured away. And as they're running down the hallway, they're like, yeah, you know, he tried to buy more time by collapsing the bridge, and that's, of course, where I got that now. So obviously the bridge was intentionally collapsed, you know, to make this whole plan work, Chopper luring them away, and now they're on to it. They know. And anyway, so and Croc's like, we got to get back there, you know, and Miss All Sunday's like, yeah, before they escape, and he's like, well, no, they can't escape, because even if they manage to get the key, I'm the one that has the real key. And he holds up the key, and you're like, and you know, Miss All Sunday's just like, oh, you rat, you despicable you know, she's probably thinking in her mind like, wow, you are just a scumbag, you know. He was gonna let Vivi go and try to go and kill herself or get killed over getting this key. And had she succeeded in getting the key, it wouldn't matter because it's not the key anyway, he says. So all of a sudden they go and they pop into the room, right? They pop into the room, and he's like, what? And all the Bananagators are just laying all over the place, man, just bloodied and beaten. The cage, there's nobody there. The cage the door is thrown open. Everybody's gone, right? And you go and you see there's a note attached to the body. It looks like it's laying on a body, so I guess there was somebody in there that they beat up or whatever. I don't know. And it says, I gotta quote it exactly, because he winds up saying something really, really funny as far as I was concerned. Oh my goodness, you gotta give me just a moment here. Yeah, that's what it was here. We go, because I remember part of it, and he goes, yeah, see you later, crap gator, and then it says Mr. Prince. So I just kind of like that, how it rhymed and everything. But if you can see, it looks like it's attached to somebody's body right down there, the note. So I don't know if that's maybe how they got out. Maybe somebody else had a spare key, maybe the assistant manager or something. We don't really see his face. But I just love that. See you later, crap gator, Mr. Prince, you know. And anyway, I don't know, you know, about where everybody else comes from and everything else, but I know here when you hear it, see you later, alligator, after a while, crocodile, just kind of rhymes. I don't know if it's like a children's rhyme or what, but I've heard it for years since I was a kid. So ultimately, my chapter question is going to be, what did you think about this plan? To me, this was a shining moment for Chopper to show, obviously, his chops and that he's a valuable asset to the group. And then also showing that Sanji can think on his own, you know what I mean, beyond just hitting on women. I really thought it was great. I mean, I thought that he devised and put together a great plan on short notice, not knowing what he was getting into, and was really able to, turn the tides and, at least for the moment, save the day. So what did you think, brothers and sisters, of the plan that was just, that just kind of was put into action? Remember to leave the answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button for me if you think that I deserve it. And subscribe if you have not done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you, every last one of you, even you in the back over there. Yes, you. In the next one, nation.
This is cute little version of Tony Chopper, very huggable version. Want to just squeeze him and say, oh, thank you so much, Tony Chopper, I love you. Thank you too, brothers and sisters of the nation.